Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. After dark here, Cowboys win in Pittsburgh, 20-17. Look, the what this team overcame today, boatload of guys out, 11 penalties for 87 yards. You got guys going down during the game. You've got the whole Dak CD thing where they're just not on the same page. But we're fighting, right? We're playing against one of the best defenses in football, if not the best defense in football. And we're fighting, we're battling, and it's that same fight we saw at the end of the Baltimore game. And I'm not always the biggest person to take away, oh well, we fought hard at the beginning of the game, those moral victory type things. But what did carry over from the Baltimore game is the Cowboys have now won two straight games on the road. The Giants game matters. I mean, the Giants beat a good Seahawks team today, so they're now 3-2. The Cowboys, and all three wins coming on the road: Cleveland, New York last week, and now Pittsburgh. This is a mucked up league, so I can't even grade them on normal progress right now because outside of Minnesota, who's 5-0, and I know the Chiefs play tomorrow night and they're undefeated too, but they haven't looked great. They're a very flawed team. All these teams are super, super flawed. If you watch football today, I mean, you watch Cardinals, 49ers, right? Rams, Green Bay. Pick a game. Houston, Bills, right? Like, just flawed football. So I didn't see anything that was as frustrating as it is as a Cowboys fan to have all those turnovers, get down the red zone area that many times and come up with no points and turnovers and just mindless, brainless football. What you can't hang your hat on is toughness and people playing hard. Look, I owe an apology to Mike Zimmer. I thought he was cooked. He's clearly not cooked. Now, there may be certain offenses or people that give him fits, and we do need to pay attention to those who are in that Shanahan outside zone scheme alignment and what he does against them, because that's really what he was brought here for. But scheme-wise, defensively, we were fired tonight. And the players that were out there, the Wheats of the world, the Carl Lawsons of the world, the guys playing alongside Mozzie Smith, DeMarvion Overshown, like guys that are coming, some of these guys are younger guys, but some of these guys that just have not played a lot of football at all, Chauncey Golston, and they're in there for DeMarcus Lawrence, they're in there for Micah Parsons and wreaking havoc. I mean, Linville Joseph had a big play today. So guys that you were either getting nothing out of, hadn't seen, or people thinking that, myself included, that the scheme itself was broken as well on defense. What you saw tonight was, if you ask guys to do what they are capable of doing and keeping them in that box so that they can play fast is more important than having some robust scheme with all these different calls and checks and whatnot. At the end of the day, if you can do three things well and that's all you're out there for, let's run those three things. Because I rather my guys play at a speed and fast and able to communicate. And even if it's a little bit more simple, especially against a team offensively like Pittsburgh, who's not an offensive juggernaut, not going to put a whole bunch of points on the board. So the defense really understood the assignment tonight. Mike Zimmer, all those guys, I give y'all a lot of credit. Great job tonight, holding the Steelers to 226 yards. The last drive that they gave up on the deep Dak pick when he was throwing to Tolbert, that was frustrating. And there was some stuff that the referees missed. But overall, great job by the defense. I got way more out of them than I thought I was going to get tonight. I thought the Steelers were going to be able to run the ball all over the place and then ultimately have some big timely throws downfield, which we negated a lot of that stuff, guys. So defensively, outstanding job. Assignment understood. For 3.5 quarters, the offense did not understand the assignment completely. They moved the ball downfield with no issue throughout the game. I think they only had one punt, which was early in the first half. They moved the ball up and down the field. But for whatever reason, when they got in the red zone, common sense evaded them. And I don't understand this because that should be part of your prep after 10 days of knowing, hey, with these tackles, with Terrence Steele in here, with Tyler Guyton in here, as long as Tyler Guyton was in there, I hope he gets well soon. But as long as they were in the game, if we get into obvious drop back pass situations, we got about time for one read and the ball's got to be gone. So that's on the quarterback, that's on the line, that's on the timing of everything, right? The first sack fumble. Dak's got to take care of the football as a veteran quarterback. He did not play his best football tonight. Y'all know how much I defend him, but that was bad football a lot of times. And it was in the red zone because really, outside of the CD miscommunications and the red zone challenges, he was on program with every other person he was throwing the football to. Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, Cavante Turpin, Jalen Brooks, even the backup tight end that probably should be working at Hurts. He was on par, on program with every single one of those players except for CD. So if they can get back to get over some of the stuff they got to get over and get back on par, and maybe that won't happen until after the bye week, who knows? But if they can get right there, then our pass game, I'm very excited about what our throw game can be over the course of the season. But right now, to be so costly in that area of the field is puzzling. Now, here's the good news. Your offensive line, once Tyler Guyton went out, I think it also kind of helped the coaches understand, all right, now we have to run the football. Now we've got to focus, because here's the thing, TJ Baskett's in there, and you're moving Tyler Smith now to left tackle. So now you're replacing two spots for one injury, number one. Number two, when Zach Martin went down with the cramps, Brock Hoffman's in the game at guard. You're not going to be able to just drop back pass against TJ Watt and them boys and Hayward and all them. That is a recipe for disaster. You weren't really going to be able to successfully drop back pass consistently from the pocket, even if you're healthy. So whether it's rolling pocket stuff, runs to the outside, mixing in the run, establishing the run so you have a legitimate play action. Look at us. Look at what we found. Rico Dowdle, fumble aside the goal line, which was reckless. I don't think you should have been in there. I thought that's why we signed Ezekiel Elliott. But hey, I don't know what was going on, but he balled tonight for what he's supposed to be doing. He balled. So we found that run. We found a rhythm in the run game because that last drive, all hell broke loose. Dak is making dumb decisions in the red zone. The coaches are calling God knows what. We're all over the place, but damn it, it's 17-13, and it's 5 minutes left in the game. And it's like, look, this is the drive where we can forgive all sins. This is the drive where we can make things right, come into Pittsburgh, steal a football game, undermanned, Sunday night, rain delay, weather delay, whatever you want to call it, steal a football game and feel better about your team moving forward, especially getting over 500. And within the context of what this league is right now, where nobody is good. Nobody is good, right? So to do that 5-minute drive, masterclass to get in the end zone. Now, masterclass in terms of the outcome. Now, they took the hardest, the Cowboys do everything with the highest level of difficulty, if you haven't noticed, both on and off the field. So I thought, half-yard line after the Dak run, sneaking it, how many times, just being mindful of ball security on snap to hold, not extending the football would be good. Rico Dowdle gets in there, and he's immediately trying to extend the football on the handoff. I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought that was coached. I thought that would be something that would be a reminder to those guys, but that's not emphasized on our team, just like penalty management is not emphasized on our team, which is why we keep running into the same issues in the wintertime. But that's neither here nor there. You would also think that going back to the Ezekiel Elliott thing, if Ezekiel Elliott is not going to be the short yardage guy, the dirty yards guy that I was promised, which to be fair to him, I haven't seen him this year get stuffed when he has gotten the ball in those opportunities. They've just been so rare and few and far between. I don't know how banged up he is. People talk about his shoulder. I don't know. But what I do know is that if he is not even going to be on the field for those, then what is the point of him being on the team? I love Z. He's given this organization his body. He's outstanding for the locker room. He's outstanding for our culture. And he's a lifetime Cowboy. No question about it. I love Z. Many, many, many great memories that brother's created. But if your time is done, your time is done. If you don't have juice, you don't have juice. Because even on the waiver wire or whatever, trades, whatever, we can get somebody in here, or Hunter Lepke, right? Like, they used him on short yardage early in the game. Shit, use him like fucking Mike Allstott and use him as a fullback. And he's gotten better from what he was last year when he fumbled in the Dolphins game. I know somebody's going to bring that up in the comments too. But I just don't understand why he's on the team if he's not going to be used there when that seems to be the ideal spot for him to be used there and what was the biggest challenge for us last year. Because that almost cost you the football game. Now, Dak atoned for his sins. He jumped on the ball, got the fumble, and then he made a clutch throw to Jalen Tolbert to win the football game. They executed at a very high level right there. We get off the field, we win the game. And I'll take it. Again, this is not a rant, okay? This is not me being unhappy. I'm just talking ball up with y'all right now. But we've got to do a better job with the details. And I know it's not going to change, but I'm going to continue to say it and just put that energy out there. What do I mean by details? Pre-snap penalties. Understanding situational football where you are on the field with the personnel that's on the other side of the field. If J.J. Watt and them aren't in the game, that's probably the time you can take a shot, but you got to be careful taking a shot because either they're going to send some sort of blitz or they'll play coverage behind it, which i.e. happened on the second pick with Jalen Tolbert. But I get it. You want to be aggressive when J.J. Watt's on the field. I get it. Second and 5 and beyond, dictate the down by throwing. Don't run the ball up the middle for 2 yards and then you're in 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 8 and an obvious drop back pass situation. Now you're either gonna have to cut yourself off to protect the passer, or if you try to risk it and let Dak buy time, catastrophe could hit, and that hit us today. So or holding calls start to happen, and other mischievous things happen across the field. Not everything is legit. Like, I didn't like the Brock Huffman penalty. I didn't like the roughing the passer penalty on Justin Fields by Wheat. Like, thought that was bullshit. But where we have the reputation, and we've been having the reputation for Lord knows how many years, of being that undisciplined, unruly football team. So people are going to officiate us as such. When are the Cowboys going to adjust to that? When are the Cowboys going to understand we got to have better attention to detail in these moments from top down, from the coaches to the quarterback that makes a lot of money, to the receivers that make a lot of money, all the way down to the last guy in the organization. They've got to understand attention to details of things, because when they're just playing and moving, they can play. Relative to what's going on in the rest of the league, they can play. There's nothing wrong. Like, this is not a normal season to me. When I say there's nobody out here popping like the 99 Rams. There's no defense out here like the 0-1 Ravens or the 2002 Bucks, where they're just juggernaut shutting everything down, straight lockup all over the field. There's no 07 Patriots. These teams are not in the league. There's no 2019 Chiefs or anything like that. Go watch the Chiefs tomorrow night against New Orleans. Go watch New Orleans, team that beat the shit out of us, that is now fighting to have the same record we do. That's the league we're in. It's all about matchups. Who do you match up with? And the teams that you do match up well with, you got to beat those teams. So I'm no longer concerned about, people talking about strength. We haven't even played. Every defense we've played, in my opinion, has been at least at minimum a good defense. The worst defense we've probably played is the Giants. And that's a very good group relative to the league. So right now, if the Cowboys can tweak some things, buy themselves some time, get those guys back, and when those guys get back, the Micah Parsons and the DeMarcus Lawrences of the world in particular, please buy into Coach Zim's defense. We got it on and popping now. It's time to buy in, because if the backups are going to play like that and play assignment football, there's no excuses for my stars not to. Anyway, y'all hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. This is just the real-time post-game reaction, emotional, after watching my team well past my bedtime. But I'm excited for the win, okay? I know somebody might take this around and say I sound hypercritical. I'm not. This is just how I feel about the game, but I'm proud of these boys. I'm proud of the fight. I really am. I'm proud of Dak. Everybody on his head. He stinks. $60 million quarterback, can't deliver. He's turning the ball in the red zone. Hey, keep fighting to the last down. Win the game, 4. Win the game, 88. Win the game, 87. Jalen Tolbert, we got a player right there. That's a healthy Michael Gallup safety blanket. That's why I don't want to ever, this is the last thing I'll say. I don't care what you feel about Dak. This was one of the most Romo-ish games he's ever played. This reminded me of Romo when they went to Buffalo and he threw 5 picks and we still won the game. That's what this reminded me of. If you don't remember that game, go look it up. Romo, Cowboys Buffalo, up in Buffalo. Romo threw 5 interceptions up there and we still ended up winning that football game. That's what today reminded me of. But the other thing I wanted to say is, I don't want to ever hear about Dak not developing receivers. People love to talk about the Laurent Robinsons and the Miles Austins and all these guys that Tony and them got paid, and he did. I'm not taking anything away from him. But Dak did that with Michael Gallup, who was a 3rd-round pick out of Colorado State at the time, ramped him up. He did that with Cedric Wilson. He's done that with Dalton Schultz. He's now done that with Ferg. These are all 4th, 5th, 6th round picks, by the way. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round. Like, these are not like free agents that are proven or trades. Like, the only person we brought in here like that is Amari Cooper, who we let go. So when you talk about development, he's also helped develop CD. That's part of it too. Yeah, and now CD is one of them ones. Don't get me twisted, but you look at all the guys he's working with: Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Scooney, Ferguson, Turpin. These guys are getting better in the throw game, and it's because of the work they put in. So yes, 4 has to be better with the football decision making. No, especially playing with a shaky pass blocking offensive line. You got to know that as a veteran. There's no excuses. I'm not letting Dak off the hook for that. He has to be better in that regard. But I don't know who else could lead this team the way Ford leads his team with all the bullshit they got to deal with. Shout out to Mike McCarthy. Congrats for winning at home. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe the whole bit. Love y'all. Peace. Good win. We'll be back later with more.